You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show of the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. And we are, as far as the calls that had gotten skipped, the most recent is Monday, and we've got a bunch of calls to get to, so I just don't think we're going to get back. So if you called Monday or prior and I have not gotten to your call, we're just going to skip it. Feel free to call it back in if it's still relevant, but I don't want to go back to, boy, I hope we sign this guy, blah, 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 right? There's a lot of news that's happened. So again, if it's still relevant and you'd like to, please feel free to call it back in. With that said, no new callers. Let's get started with Chris from Alabama. It's 4 seconds. Let's see what happens here. Nope. All right, let's try part two.
What's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama.
What's up, dude?
Everybody heard the news. And yes, I sound like this because I am sad.
I can't wait to find out what, I don't even know what this could be about.
Even though I knew it was going to happen, I'm still sad. Romeo Doubs has just got signed by the New England Patriots. I don't know the numbers. I don't care about the numbers because I'm sad. I was a Romeo Doubs guy. That was my guy. And I'm sad. But it is what it is, I guess. So ain't no use of me being sad. Hell, got a goddamn season to damn go play. And Super Bowl, we can try to go win and we can make the proper move. But, yeah, man, he deserved the bread, man. I think he's going to fit in pretty decent over there in New England. He really kind of has an opportunity. It's kind of a similar situation, honestly, to Green Bay. Like, they got a group of guys. I mean, he can probably emerge, depending. I know they were saying something about them trying to trade for A.J. Brown. That might have been why this wasn't announced yesterday, because I know...
I wonder if... it's funny you say that, because I was just looking at... I just cashed out the whole... I made a bet on Kalshi that, what's his name, was going to go to the Vikings. Hasn't happened yet, but it's skyrocketed, and I made money, so I cashed out on it. But I was like, I wonder what I can go back into. And A.J. Brown's next team is still relatively high for the Patriots. And I'm like, they just got Romeo. It's like, I want to look into it a little bit and see before I make the decision. Plus, it's going to take forever, and I'd rather just cash out on something quickly. But is A.J. Brown to the Patriots still a thing? It's kind of odd to me.
The Patriots was like one of the top targets to get him. And now I know it's like the Patriots, 49ers, and I think another team. But once the 49ers signed Mike Evans, I figured he wasn't going there. And I know they were talking with Tulsa about getting A.J. Brown. Them trade talks probably fell through. Philadelphia probably asking too much for A.J. Brown. Probably want like a couple of first-round picks for A.J. Brown, which I don't blame anybody. I wouldn't give 2 first-round picks for A.J. Brown. I definitely wouldn't do that. But, yeah, man, got signed. I got to retire my jerseys going in the graveyard with the Aaron Rodgers and the Aaron Jones and the Jair Alexanders. It's going to the Packer jersey graveyard, man. R.I.P. to the Green Bay Packer Romeo Doubs. Sad day for me. Oh, well. Go Pack, go. I'll talk to y'all later, and I'm going to go cry in the car.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. No, I mean, I saw some Patriots people are out there. They're actually quite sad too, but they're trying to get themselves hyped up. They're posting some highlights and whatever. And you look at him, it's like, yeah, that dude's pretty good, man. That dude made some plays, but I think he kind of maxed out. You know what I mean? He was as elite as his mind and body could allow him to be. There is no higher that you can go. He was the best case scenario for him, he did, and he deserves all the credit for that because, there's a lot of different ways that could go, and only if he put 110% into his craft would he have become what he became, and he did, and he got a big payday, and he earned it. But I also think we got some guys that have a little bit more ability. Whether or not they're going to reach their full potential, I don't know. Watson, I think, already has. He just needs to stay healthy. That dude has potential far beyond what Romeo can do. Golden has potential far beyond what Romeo can do. I think Reed can step beyond what Romeo can do. So I feel good about the situation. And like you said, we just gotta move on with what we got. And I think we got a good group of receivers. And let's not forget, got a tight end and Tucker Kraft too. That's pretty good. Randy, what's going on?
Hi, Ryan. It's Randy from Minnesota.
Howdy.
With the signing of Sean Ryan, which is basically, the way I understood it, is more or less just a one-year deal. I almost was wondering if the play would not be to draft Connor Lew, a center, who had a knee injury and is not going to be ready to start the season because of that injury. And maybe the idea is, well, we can draft this high-quality center, bring him along slowly, knowing that he's not going to be ready to play right away. Then next year, he could be our center, and we can either restructure Sean Ryan because he is available, or he can work in the middle of the line as a fill-in and go on from there. It was just kind of a thought. And also, please, I got to hear Big Sal go off on that Opie look at MF coach in Chicago, Ben Johnson. Big Sal
idea.
Going off on Ben Johnson, I think, would be priceless. I got to hear that, man. Got to get that going. Anyway, it's short and sweet. That's all I got. Go Pack, go. Bye.
I like it. It's not a bad idea. Well, here's what I'd say about Connor Lew. I don't think you can plan that specifically. There's 32 teams competing for Connor Lew. Obviously, everyone's got some level of interest in him. I think what it does is it gives you the opportunity to do something like that. And it gives you the opportunity to do that with just about anybody else as well. It gives you the flexibility if Lew can't play, in the first year to do something else. But it also gives you the opportunity if you draft any other center. He's going to come in. He's going to compete. Sean Ryan will be given the starting job at least to begin with, and the other guy's going to have to be able to prove he can win the job. And if he can't, and he's going to have to be better than Sean Ryan to win. It can't be tie and then some is going to go to Sean Ryan. But it gives you the opportunity, if need be, to let him sit a year, learn, grow, possibly take over as the season goes on, or if injuries arise or whatever the case may be, and let him take over the job that way. But it just affords you that opportunity. Essentially, Sean Ryan gives you a 1-year mulligan. In other words, you don't have to solve it this year. You don't have to hurry up and draft somebody this year. But yeah, I mean, again, as far as Connor Lew, I don't know exactly when he's going to come back. I don't think it'll be by week 1. He tore his ACL in October. Let's see, what is it, about a 9-month recovery? No, he might be. But you probably miss a good portion of the training camp type stuff. So either way, you'd want somebody that can take that role and then let Lew kind of fill in or whatever. So again, I don't think you can that specifically make a plan. We're going to do this and then we're going to draft Connor Lew. But again, it does afford you that flexibility.
Ryan, beer cheese Benny.
What's up, bro?
We just got Sky Moore, dude. That's awesome. We finally got a freaking real kick and punt returner, dude. This guy is going to be great for that. He's going to be excellent for that, man. No more dicking around with like, oh, let's put Josh Jacobs in because nobody else can do it. But this is great, man. I love that move. And I like Sky Moore coming out of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And, Also, he could be a good role player for the offense. So, but probably going to be a kick punt returner. So, man, I just got a feeling there could be another thing in store. We're clearing up a lot of space.
Well, you're right about that. Another thing was in store, probably not as big as you were expecting, but Javon Hargrave, obviously, that has popped off. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. There are rumors, though, that they're still not done, as I talk about a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But Packers are out there doing the thing.
Bro, Bruce from El Paso.
What's up, Mike?
To a meeting. Bro, I have to tell you, man, you're doing an awesome job with your content. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.
It's good, man. You're doing a good job.
I'm waiting for the butt.
Fuck. Sorry about the language. Sky Moore was a draft crush of mine, and not for wide receiver purposes, but for special team purposes.
Sure.
When I saw that come along, I had to give you a call, man, because I went from what are we not doing to this frenzy of just, it's giving you a really good picture of what they're looking at doing. And it's pretty cool that whoever special teams guys, did we hire special teams guys? No clue. I think we did. Understand that our kickoff and punt returns are important because the kicking game, Carlson, whatever, man, like, he's fine. Like, I remember I wanted to get rid of Mason when he missed 4 fucking kicks against the Lions. All good. Like, you'll come back, bro. You're an all-pro. You're a kicker, man. You got your stuff. But these signings have been really telling to what they're going to do, man.
Yeah.
And the releases. And it's pretty cool. How deep is the defensive line draft where we know we're not going to get something in the first round, but there's enough talent, the second, third, fourth round apparently, where you can stack up on that, probably get a running back, I'm assuming. But it seems pretty cool. So what are your thoughts with all these moves that you've seen, this flurry, and what you think they're going to start doing in the draft, man? For me, it's defensive line, defensive interior, whatever they want, but just literally trenches. It looks like there must be some depth there, and with your draft podcast and your cutdowns, let me know what you think, man. If that's the way they're going. Pretty cool. Anyway, peace out. Sorry for the cursing.
Yeah, so a couple different things. I kind of made the same point that I'm happy because you're starting to see the plan come together. That was kind of the big thing was, what exactly is the plan? What are we doing? And I had said, there's plenty of time. Eventually, this plan will start to unfold, but I don't know what it is, and I'm just uncomfortable at the moment. I also think it's interesting because we want to blame Brian Gutekunst for, the way especially special teams has gone. And you mentioned Sky Moore coming in and kind of attributed that to the special teams coordinator. And I sort of think you're right. Obviously there's collaboration and whatnot, but look at what's going on. And I know that this is not the same thing necessarily, but look what's going on defense. Do you think for 1 second they would have brought in Javon Hargrave if it wasn't for our defensive coordinator saying, I want him? The bottom line is our defensive coordinator says, I want him, I want him, I want him. And our GM is getting him. I need that kind of a corner. All right, you got it. I need this kind of a linebacker. Boom, you got it. I got some familiarity with him. Go get him for me. All right, I'll get him for you. How about this defensive tackle? Well, he's 33 years old. That's not really what we do here. I know, but I've worked with him. I promise you he's going to be elite. You know what? I'm going to go get you your guy. We get a new special teams coordinator, and boom, we go get a guy. By the way, our old special teams coordinator, what did he say? I want that kicker. We drafted a kicker because our special teams coordinator said he wanted him. I want Keyshawn Nixon for special teams. Boom, we went and got Keyshawn Nixon for him. Our GM is very receptive when a coordinator says, this is what I need to make this work, and I promise I can make this work, he will go to bat for you. He will believe you. He will go out and get it done. So on that note, again, with the whole how much is our special teams coordinator to blame? Look, even the roster construction, you're going to tell me that that's Gutekunst and Gutekunst just wasn't giving him what he needed? Bull crap. Bull crap. This guy is going out getting whatever people need. And so, yeah, I would be willing to bet, at the very least, collaboration, if not the explicit request of our special teams coordinator to go get Sky Moore. And good, like you said, this is so what is our new special teams coordinator doing as opposed to our old guy? Well, the old guy seemed to want to focus on just finding whoever for a returner. This guy says, nope, I want to go get an actual returner. How about Sky Moore? Again, I don't know that this is necessarily how it went. Maybe if Bisaccia was still here, we would have gotten Sky Moore. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you can see when our new defensive coordinator comes in that all these people we brought in, 100% are Gannon saying please and thank you. Why would I not believe it's the same thing with our special teams coordinators? That he's, because I already know he's going out and getting people for special teams. I know that. So the lie that he's not doing that is just that. It's a lie. They're absolutely willing to invest. So why should I believe that Gutekunst is not saying, what do you think, as opposed to saying, screw you, I'm going to do what I want, especially when I know our old special teams coordinator Bisaccia wanted Carlson. I know he wanted Nixon. So don't we know that Gutekunst is going out and getting people that are being requested by the special teams coordinator? So let me ask you, who was the return guy that Bisaccia said, go get that guy? Who was it? Apparently, it was Cole Hardman. So again, don't give me this bull crap about, our GM not getting the right guys to be able to stock up our special teams. No, Bisaccia was in charge to a very large degree of who was on our special teams and who wasn't. Not only just who of our roster plays what portion of our special teams, which was his responsibility, but also which players are on our roster for the purposes of special teams. Anyways, beside that, yeah, as far as the draft and whatnot, I still think defensive tackle is a big deal. I pushed back very hard on tomorrow's podcast on the idea that we went out and got a guy that's going to make us bigger and tougher on the defensive line to help bolster our defensive line to make us tough. All these allusions to run defense. Bullcrap. This guy's a Devontae Wyatt 2.0. He's not a run defender. He's not good at that. He is a very good pass rusher. We brought back Jonathan Ford, but if you look at it as far as the depth chart, I always separate it out when we do like the 53-man breakdowns and whatnot. It's not just defensive tackle. You got your defensive end and your nose tackle, or you've got your one tech and your three tech, or whatever you want to call it, A gap, B gap. I don't really care what the name you want to use is. You got your run defenders and your pass rushers. Right now, Hargrave and Wyatt are the pass rushers. Ford, as best as I can tell, is our nose tackle run defender. I don't think we're going to stick with that. I have a hunch that a nose tackle, which, by the way, free agency is not over, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go find one, but I think it's very possible we're still going to go out and get, Big Citrus or Corleone or one of these bigger, beefier run-defending defensive tackles. So, again, I don't know exactly what we're going to be drafting, but just suffice it to say, I don't think this is, okay, that's settled now. We got Wyatt and we got our other guy. That's our two defensive tackles. We don't need any more defensive tackles. No, that's not true. We have bolstered one portion of our defensive tackle group. We've bolstered our interior pass rush is what we've done, which is great because I'll take as much of that help as I can. And as I talk about tomorrow, if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they didn't just have one pass rusher and one run stuffer. They had two pass rushers and two run stuffers. We now have two pass rushers in Wyatt and Hargrave, and we essentially have zero, unless you want to count Ford as one of the run stuffers, I guess, like legit run defenders. They also had, I think, three different, actual legit pass rush. We have probably two. We'll see what Brenton Cox can do. So, anywho, let's take a break. We got AA Ron from Eau Claire on the other side.
Ryan, Aaron from Eau Claire. It's been a really, really busy couple of weeks here with the Packers and all of the different players leaving for different teams and trades. And oh man, it is crazy. To be honest, I'm really enjoying it.
Me too.
Because I'm not used to having this much news in the off season because the Packers are so generally conservative with their decision making, and
I mean, Gutekunst has definitely been much more aggressive, but last year in particular was pretty boring. It was a very it was disappointing, especially since I really wanted things. And like I said, this year I'm kind of not asking for much, and I'm still getting stuff, and I'm kind of excited about it.
All that stuff, but it's honestly really fun to just have more to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because one thing that the Packers have done a lot of in the last 15 years is kind of run it back. If they're, they change a little bit each year, but they try to run a lot of it back and hope that it, works this time. And I think last year we saw a lot of things that could be better, and I'm hoping that they are really, really being active because they're trying to address some of the problems that we had, whether that's with energy or maybe with scheme, like with hiring Jonathan Gannon, or maybe it's like certain players just not performing up to their standard or up to their contract, like Rashawn Gary. I don't really know what they're thinking, but I'm thinking that it's probably a lot of just trying to address some of the stuff from last year, and then also kind of get their cap situation right. But I'm really excited that they, that they're making moves, and I think Packers fans were just kind of tired of stagnant decision making. So I think that'll be fun for all of us to follow, and hopefully it all can add up to some improvements on the team for this year. I mean, we should be able to build a team that hopefully improves on a lot of our problems from last year. So anyways, all right, go. We'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah, we got to see how it all goes. I mean, obviously we had a lot more people leave than usual. As far as net gain, we're probably down, but so is everybody. I mean, that's the thing. It keeps you, your team is worse than you're getting better or worse, not better. To be fair, on average, everybody's getting worse. Everybody's getting worse. Nobody, again, in the aggregate, everybody is worse. Because there's only two things that are happening right now. We're swapping players, which is a net neutral activity, right? For every gain, there's a loss. And then we're also dumping players. This is a massive period of dumping players. Why? Because thousands of new people are coming into the NFL. Hundreds of new people are coming into the NFL. You have to dump hundreds and hundreds of players out of the NFL every single year. So this is a dumping portion. So yeah, everybody is losing more people. Obviously not everybody, but everybody is going to be losing more than they're going to be gaining. That's 100% true. It's just the fact of the matter is a lot of people you're losing you don't even think about, you don't really care about. You think about the big names. We lost 2 big guys and gained 4 big guys, so we're gaining or whatever. But yeah, this is the period of time where everybody's kind of just resorting things, and you lose a bunch of people, but there's a lot more time to go. We'll see who else ends up getting signed, whether as far as signing our own guys or signing some other additional pieces. then we got to see what happens in the draft, and then we'll see where we're at. But no, I think I don't know that I necessarily agree with your characterization of things. Again, last year was pretty stagnant outside of the fact that we got Micah Parsons later on in the year. Obviously, that's about as big of a swing as you can have. But since we got Gutekunst, man, it's been pretty hardcore with the trades. I mean, it started the second he got here. The very first big news you heard was the Packers traded for, I think it was Zadarius Smith. It was like the first thing that happens. Like, what? I remember being shocked. The Packers did what? I can't believe the first thing announced is Green Bay Packers made a trade. And it was like 10 minutes later, the Packers got Preston Smith, and then days later or something, it's Amos, and then it's like holy crap! Like I couldn't freaking believe how much was happening. Obviously, there's been a bunch of other people that have come and gone throughout the years with Gutekunst, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're obviously bringing in a whole new crop. I like the guys that we're bringing in. I think. If there is concern about people being too young, that's obviously not a problem anymore. We're getting some guys that I'm shocked at their ages, and they're obviously not going to be long-term fixes. But I'm particularly excited about Zaire Franklin. Again, he's not an elite player, but I think he can be a baseline average player. I think he's a good role player, but I also think he's a right kind of guy to have as a middle linebacker. He has kind of a nasty mentality. He's got a leader mentality. He's going to be one of those guys. He's not quiet. He's got a big voice, and he's going to use it. Hargrave, that's a 33-year-old veteran. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been one of the best defensive players in the NFL, multiple pro. I mean, he's a guy that's done it all, seen it all, heard it all. So he's going to be a guy that can get control of a locker room, that knows how to work, knows what to do. They did a good job of adding some of those people, some of those pieces. Not just good fits, but good character and all checking all the boxes. So I'm excited about that. And again, we'll see what happens with the draft if they continue down that path. Obviously, you can't get Pro Bowlers and Super Bowl champion draft picks, but got guys that fit the culture, or at least the culture that you're trying to cultivate, which isn't going to be easy to do. It's a locker room full of guys. There's going to be clashes and conflicting problems and all kinds of weird stuff. But you do what you can to really try to build that kind of image.
Bruce El Paso.
Yo.
The Dallas Cowboys have now inherited the title of the Packers cast-off crew, just like the Chargers used to do with our offensive linemen that we were pretty much done with. I love it, man. I am so glad that the Cowboys keep cowboying, and you see all these takes about how we got fleeced. Are you kidding me? Man, I was talking to some Cowboy friends of mine, and they are pissed at what's going on. I don't know who's on Twitter saying stuff. I've seen a couple things about how the Gary thing, now they've got Clark, now they've got Gary, and I had to say that. I'm so glad that the Cowboys are going to continue to suck America's whatever. I'm so happy that we did that to the Cowboys again. Anyway, bye.
I had myself muted. I'm struggling to understand what the heck the Cowboys' plan is. Talk about starting to see the Packers' plan unveil, and it makes sense. And I'm looking at the Cowboys, and it's like, I mean, you traded away, going back to Micah. I mean, you traded away. I don't know why you would do something like that. I don't give a crap what your financial situation is. You never do that. But then they did it because Jerry Jones had a pissy fit about the negotiation, and we had a handshake deal, and how dare you, or whatever nonsense. Then they needed to get a defensive tackle. We're convinced that Kenny was the right guy. Turns out he's not the right guy, so then they have to go out and make another trade to go get the right guy. Then they decide they want to spend the 2 first-round picks on Max Crosby, who's a downgraded player. Then he gets picked up somewhere else. So they say, okay, let's go get Rashawn from the Packers and give a fourth, which is way too much. So they go get Rashawn to apparently pair with Kenny. I guess he's going to stay there. I thought he wasn't. Then they trade away Osa Odigizua, the defensive tackle. So now we're, instead of kind of building the defensive line, we're going to start giving people away. Odigizua, by the way, if you are not aware, is basically exactly Kenny Clark if he was 27. They graded out almost identical last year. 66 grade compared to 67 grade. Odigizua had a 59 run defense. Kenny had a 54. Pass rush was 72 compared to 72. I mean, it was nearly identical. Odigizua did have better stats as a pass rusher, but pretty much the same guy, just slightly better. And they got rid of 27-year-old Osa Odigizua and decided to keep, for some freaking reason, Kenny Clark, who is now 30 years old. I'm just looking right now. This just popped up. John Ledyard. Cowboys people, help me out. Why did Dallas do this? Talking about the trade of Odigizua to the 49ers. What are we doing? Are we trying to add people? Are we trying to get... I want to get rid of our best pass rusher, but we need defensive tackle help. So we get defensive tackle help, except that's not the right defensive tackle. Let's go get a different defensive tackle. Well, actually, I need that pass rusher back. Let's go get a different pass rusher. Okay, we missed out on that pass rusher. How about we get a significantly worse pass rusher in Rashawn? That sounds good. But now I feel like we don't need defensive tackle help. We need less defensive tackle help. So let's get rid of somebody. Should we get rid of Kenny? No, let's keep Kenny. Let's get rid of the younger version of him and send him to the 49ers. What are we doing here? What is the freaking plan? What is the vision? What I got to read the comments. What is the plan? I was meh on it. He's nice. Oh, that was a 49ers fan. I was like, I don't know exactly what that means. Dallas had 3 defensive tackles making 20 plus a year. Osa wasn't a scheme fit in Christian Parker's defense. Clearing his salary gives you some flexibility. Okay. Again, of the 3, I would have made a different decision. And if the only argument is, well, we get draft capital and Kenny wouldn't have gotten us any draft capital, I mean, that's nice, except for the part where by next year, you're not going to have Kenny either. So you're really losing 2 defensive tackles, where if you move off of Kenny, you get to keep one of them. So whatever, man. Again, they have, it's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It's like when I'm doing a Rubik's Cube, and you kind of, if you don't know what you're doing, which I don't, I tried to learn a little bit, but I'm not quite getting it. But you're getting close, and you're like, ooh, I just need to move this over here, and you think you know what you're doing, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna put this here and this here, and then you're like, oh shoot, that was wrong, but you forgot the moves that got you there. So then you're like, oh shoot, how do I? But you keep making moves to try to fix it, and then you make a move to fix the move that you made, and then you make that worse, and by the end of it, you're about as far away. You are so far down the frickin' wrong move rabbit hole that you had like 5 of the same color on one side. Now you're down to 3. And you're like, frickin' dang it. That's Dallas. They're trying to get those last couple colors on the side of the Rubik's Cube and have really just messed it up to the point where they have less now than they had before. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Ben from Minnesota.
Howdy.
So, the Ravens are signing Trey Hendrickson now? What the hell is going on? I
don't know.
Yeah, okay, failed his physical. That's Max Crosby failed his physical. Mm-hmm. That's just an excuse.
Right.
I think they had both deals on the table. They signed, hey, we'll trade for Crosby, whatever. And then Hendrickson came back and said, we'll take this deal. And they're like, shoot.
Yep.
We would rather have that.
Yep.
All right, this guy failed his physical, which we knew was going to happen because of his knee. This is wild.
Yep.
Has this ever happened? backed out the next day, not even, I mean, hours later, just overnight, they have a new $112 million deal with another guy. I don't know. This is crazy. Who is it? Tom Pelissero, who I think is kind of a D-bag, said he's talked to some of his sources or whatever, and they said, no way I'm trading with the Ravens anymore. I can't trust them, which is huge.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just excited about all this news. It's fun. It's going down. This is what the offseason's about.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. One more thing. Barstool put out a thing, a report or article or whatever the hell you want to call it. Apparently Ricky Scoops is being hunted down by the league. It's crazy. I don't know. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.
I saw something about that. I didn't know if it was real. Like I did a little AI search about what the heck was going on. I don't know if that portion of it is legitimate. I don't think it is. In fact, what I think is happening is this has kind of become like a thing with Ricky Scoops. I didn't realize this because it actually happened the other day where I was trying to find something he said, and it just like I thought X was just not working. It's one of those things where it's just like, it's like, man, this freaking thing's glitching out. I can't find anything, whatever. And come to find out his account was just gone. I'm like, what is going on? And then I see jokes about like they're coming after me. He said that right before his account went away. And so, and it seemed like an inside joke. People were talking about it. And so I kind of just did like a little search, like what the heck is going on? And it seems to me like this has become part of his shtick, that he seemingly is deleting his own account. Now, he would say that that's not happening and that he's getting banned or he's getting whatever. But it seems to me that he is kind of creating this lore, because he's such a great insider and he's stealing all these scoops. And he's not supposed to be, because he's not one of the insiders. He's not one of the approved, scoop guys. He's getting all these illicitly. So they're coming after him as though the NFL could get him banned or something. And so his account gets shut down, quote unquote. And so it seems like what happens is he deactivates his account and then reactivates his account later and is like, oh yeah, they're after me. They shut me down. Just to kind of add to the conspiracy theory mystique of it all. The other possibility is that because it's kind of an inside joke, he's getting like mass reported and it's just like auto shutting his account down is like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Either way, I don't think anyone's actually hunting him. I think this is becoming a part of his game, is that he freaking deactivates his account, and it's like a thing where it's like, oh, they're after him, man. He's, because he's trying to pump up his legitimacy, and I still don't know what to think about him. He's obviously had some hits. He's had some misses. I think that's true of everybody. Has his hits been significant enough to the point where it seems like it's unlikely that he's just guessing? I think so, but I don't know. I really don't. It's fun, though. It's peak off-season madness. But yeah, I saw a report also on that, and I mentioned it tomorrow, but it sounds like not only did they very quickly after get a deal done with Trey Hendrickson, they actually were finalizing that deal when Max Crosby and his family were in Baltimore, which is ultra messed up. So I don't know if that means like, they pulled the rug out while he was there and then ran to Trey Hendrickson, or if they were, as he's over there getting worked out and somebody's with the family, like, oh, how are you? And what's your name? Oh, that's so wonderful. Are you excited to be a Raven? You got a guy in the back room, the GM over there, like, okay, will he take 28? Will he take this many guarantees? Okay, well, you got to get out of this over deal. Now, the team has come out and they're like, oh, well, actually, we wanted both of them. That was our plan. And I think it's because, first of all, this has been a complete catastrophe from a PR standpoint, but now it's been reported that while Max Crosby was there, he was working the other deal on the other side. The only thing that you can say, aside from denying that, which I'm sure could easily be proven, and they don't want to push that, is to say that they planned on having both of them there, which I have to assume is complete and utter bull crap. There is no way you're going to have two $30 million pass rushers Actually, what would Max Crosby's? Yeah, I mean, assuming they're just going to take on this contract, his base salary is almost $30 million a year, 29, 27, and 27 over the next 3 years. So you've got essentially two $30 million pass rushers on your team? I don't think so. Maybe, but I think it's more likely that you're just freaking lying.
Hey, it's Ben from Minnesota again.
Howdy.
So, the Ricky Scoops thing. Apparently, there are people actively trying to figure out who he is.
Right.
And a lot of speculation is that, like, he's somebody high up in the NFL with just a burner account. Which I think is pretty sweet, actually. Like, I'm not a Rappaport guy or anything, so, you know, you can't make a living out of telling people what they could just tweet out themselves. That's my whole thing, right. But whatever. Also,
especially with Twitter the way that it is, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, think about what the value of Ian Rappaport is right now. I mean, the value that they provide is that they get the information to us maybe a minute faster than somebody else would have. You know, like, we're going to get that information pretty. It's just, and that's why they're so quick. That's why they have to, like, quick voice to text. They've already got, what do you call it? Drafts made up so that when they hear it, boom, they can put it out there. That's why they have to do it that quickly. It's not like the newspaper where it's like, okay, I'll put it out for tomorrow's issue. Like, no, it's got to, because the news is going to get, if you don't do it, you got about, 4 minutes before, you know, I mean, think about how many guys, Yosh Nijman announced his retirement. Guys like, well, I don't want to, there are people that kind of monitor Instagram accounts. You know what I mean? How long before that player, you know, tweets out like Ravens flock, let's get it or something? I mean, you've got maybe 5 minutes before you get scooped. And, you know, the everybody wants it to come out a certain way. So that these guys are essentially the vessel to deliver the packaging that we want. We want to make sure that you deliver it so that it gets delivered the right way. And so we got to come together between the team, the agents or whatever. We got to work on how we want this message to be delivered. And so we can use you to deliver it the way we want it to be delivered. But that's it. Yeah, they get the message out a couple minutes faster than we would get it some other way. It is kind of a ridiculous thing.
Oh, big. I think Benjamin St. Juice is a good sign. Nothing great, but hey, I think it's depth. I think it'll help. Mm-hmm. With signing Sean Ryan back, do you think we're going to get, knowing that Sean Ryan can play multiple positions along the line, I think it'd be a good thing maybe to draft Connor Lew,
mm-hmm.
because just for the fact that, like, we have our guy who can play center for the beginning of the year while he's hurt, or the whole year, because the Packers are no stranger to letting somebody sit and just learn for a year or so. And then when he's able to step in, Sean Ryan can still play left, right, guard, tackle, whatever he needs to, just as a depth piece. Yeah, let me know what you think. Connor Lew sounds like he's probably the best center in the draft, I guess, is what I've kind of gotten from everything they're talking about. So if we can get him and have our guys sit, because it sounds like you guys kind of explained it's more of a 1-year deal than a 3-year deal type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can move some money around, and I don't know. But let me know what you think. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
I always love it how this happens. You guys are so, like, in sync on everything all the time. Clearly that's become the new favorite. And it does make sense, not just what, you know, we already talked about, but in regard to what you had mentioned about the flexibility with Sean Ryan, because let's say it's not Connor Lew, right? Let's remove the injury speculation from that and say it's Jake Slaughter or Logan Jones or something. If what we could end up having and this seems unlikely, but, you know, obviously the Packers love playing the game of musical chairs on the offensive line. You could have a situation where Jake Slaughter is playing at center. He's, you know, competing. He hasn't won the job. But also, Sean Ryan hasn't won the job, and they want to have Sean Ryan do some center and maybe play a little right guard. And so while he's competing for the center job, he's also competing for the right guard job, and Belton is fighting for that right guard job as well, meaning we could have Slaughter Ryan, we could have Slaughter Belton, we could have Ryan Belton. Who knows? I doubt Slaughter's going to do anything other than center, although frickin' Packers, man, they'd probably like to put him all over the place. But you could have that little competition there that I think would be pretty beneficial, honestly, because, you know, Belton might just be bad, and having a fallback of Sean Ryan, who I'm not a fan of, but, you know, if Belton is just awful, okay, then we can have him as sort of a swing guard tackle. And Sean Ryan will be our right guard, and Jake Slaughter or Logan Jones or whatever can be our center. So I think that's a pretty good point as far as the flexibility of Sean Ryan. So anywho, folks, I appreciate all the calls. We've still got quite a few. But make sure you keep those flooding in, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.